Fellowship 9/11.
On a bright sunny day at the end of the third age of Middle-earth, a new unelected king was crowned. His name? Aragorn, son of Arathorn. How did it all happen? Was it all just a dream? I mean, it looked real enough. The guys with the pointy ears were there. The short guys with beards were there. Even those weird little hobbit guys were there. Who were these people? This elitist group of carnival freaks who wanted to control the fate of Middle-earth.
Make me look good.
And what brought this great and noble leader to power? The most savage attack on Rohan soil in over 1,000 years. The Battle of Helm's Deep. Could it have been prevented? Everyone knew an attack was coming. Why didn't Aragorn do anything to stop it? Where was he while the storm clouds gathered? Somewhere up north doing his favorite thing, smoking the pipeweed. I uncovered his ranger records from that time period, and one name was always blacked out. Who was this mysterious person whose name was systematically omitted? None other than Gandalf the Grey, renowned wizard and the second most powerful man in Middle-earth. And who did Gandalf report to? Who was his boss? None other than Saruman the White, the very person responsible for the horrific attack at Helm's Deep. The person who was once a close ally of the people of Middle-earth, whose very tower fortress was bought and paid for with Middle-earth tax dollars.
People were afraid after the attack on Helm's Deep. A culture of fear swept Middle-earth. People will do anything if they're afraid. See what I mean?
Orange. Orange. The Orcs red has been elevated to orange.
Do you think he's ever going to yell green? I don't think so. It's going to be red, orange, yellow. Red, orange. Then maybe another yellow.
Shortly after the attack at Helm's Deep, the leaders of Middle-earth got together and secretly passed the Patriot Scroll. It gave the armies of Middle-earth the power to stop Orcs without probable cause and kill them without any sort of hearing or due process. Did anyone even read the Patriot Scrolls?
Sit down, son.
I am sitting.
Let me tell you how things work in Middle-earth. No one can read. We have one printing press in Rohan. It's broken half the time. In 200 years, we've printed this document and the Patriot Scroll. No one's read it.
So are you trying to say that they're purposely overstating the threat of the Orcs just to stay in power?
There are always going to be attacks from Orcs, trolls, goblins, dragons. I could go on and on all day.
So you're saying the war against Mordor is a lie?
I'm saying Sauron never attacked us. Saruman did. Think about that. They want you to believe this is a war about rings and power. Well, it's not about rings, but it is about power. It's just a distraction from their real quest.
Which is?
Oil.
Mordor, the largest oil reserves in Middle-earth. The dwarves had depleted all their natural resources and wanted to build a pipeline from Mordor to the Iron Hills. But they needed funding. So they went to their old pals, the elves. The elves had the money, but not the muscle. So they bribed the men of Rohan to join their coalition of the willing. Once Rohan was on board, of course Gondor wanted a piece of the action. But the armies of men needed better intel to go into Mordor, so they went to the Hobbits, an elite group of miniature special forces. And that's how the dwarves, elves, men of Rohan and Gondor, and hobbits came together to invade Mordor. Pretty simple, huh? Oh, but we couldn't just invade Mordor and depose Sauron while we were fighting a war with Saruman. So a lie was put forth, that Sauron and Saruman were working together.
Sauron and Saruman have been in cahoots for thousands of years, many ages of men and elves.
Sauron and Saruman are in league together.
Saruman and Sauron! Sauron! Saruman, Susan Sarandon, Salamander, Sauron! Saruman!
The names sounded so much alike, people were confused as to who attacked us. Pretty soon there was public support to invade Mordor, a sovereign kingdom that had not even declared war on Middle-earth. This is what the Fellowship Group wants you to think of Mordor. But this is the reality. Yes, peace-loving, oil-rich Mordor. An idyllic land, populated by an innocent, benign people who've never harmed a hair on one person's head, and whose only crime was looking different than us. And what kind of animals do we send to slaughter these innocents? I went to the front lines personally to find out.
Were you scared going into battle?
Oh, yeah. But then you kill your first one, you're just, amped. How many did you get, Bonnie?
I don't know, man, like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
The last one's gotta be dead by now. I chopped his leg clear off.
Yeah, he's dead.
So you like killing orcs. It's like to you they're not even human.
Okay, they're not human, all right? They're orcs.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty sure they're like demon creatures or something.
Yeah, they're goblins.
Yeah, goblins.
Well, have you ever talked to an orc?
No. Because if you get close enough to one of those things, he's just gonna chop your head off, man.
You gotta get psyched up there, or you are gonna get killed.
Well, now, maybe if you gave him a chance. And where do we get these bloodthirsty, immoral killing machines from? Not from the rich big cities. No, they come from little villages, drenched in poverty. I followed an army recruiter on his usual rounds.
Hey guys, how's it going? What's your name?
Joe Blacksmith.
And what do you do?
I'm a blacksmith.
What's your name?
Fred Dairyman.
What do you do?
I'm a dairy farmer.
What's your name?
Sam Shit Scooper.
Sam, how would you like to go on a fun adventure and see Middle-earth?
But it's not all fun and fancy hats for the soldiers of Gondor and Rohan. Day after day, casualties mount. Your son was killed at the Battle of Helm's Deep. How do you feel?
I'm devastated, but I think it was for a good cause. I mean, if Sauron ever got a hold of Earth...
Your son died at the Battle of Helm's Deep. How do you feel?
It's sad, but at the same time, I'm proud of my boy.
Cut! Your son died at the Battle of Helm's Deep. How do you feel?
Horrible, but I feel the war was necessary.
Oh, cut! Your son died at the Battle of Helm's Deep. How do you feel?
Devastated. I don't know why he had to die. I don't know why we're fighting this war.
Hold that thought. Okay, thank you, ladies. We have one. Thank you very much. Excuse me, Aragorn. We noticed a lot of the soldiers, well, almost all of the soldiers going to fight in Mordor are the sons of peasants and commoners. So we were hoping to sign up the sons of a few of you noblemen. So would you be willing to sign up to send your son to fight in Mordor?
Actually, I'm going to fight personally. I'm leading the charge.
Well, would you sign up your son?
I don't have a son.
That's a no then. So now, we're left with an ineffective king that no one voted for. What's he thinking? How can I make my elf friends at Halliburton richer by giving them the contracts to rebuild Mordor? And what's he thinking?
Why don't you simply ask me?
Oh, all right, okay. Is it true you and Saruman are in the same cult?
Oh, I wouldn't call it a cult.
Well, how about this? Have you ever seen Sauron and Saruman together, personally?
Well, no. You see, Sauron isn't in human form. He's more of a floaty eye thingy.
Oh, that's convenient. So let me see if I have this straight. You set all of Middle-earth at war against the peace-loving people of oil-rich Mordor, and you can't even prove their leader exists.
We could not allow Sauron to attain the Ring of Power.
Oh, a ring! Oh, great, let me see it.
I don't have it. We've given it to Frodo.
Oh, at the secret meeting of the so-called Fellowship Group, your elitist buddies who decided the fate of all Middle-earth?
Enough! I have no time for you. You shall not pass! I shall ride you to the depths of hell!
Now that I've spent my entire movie twisting half-truths into lies, making dubious connections between leaders, and portraying our troops to be bloodthirsty psychopaths, don't you think it's time we bring these brave boys home from a never-ending war that can't be won?
War's over! The war's over! We won! We won! We won! We won!
Damn. We'll have to fix that in post.